You know the feeling, right? You've just dropped off a rental car. You were super careful, you even topped off the tank right around the corner from the airport. The needle is buried on F, but then you get the bill, and there it is, a phantom fuel charge for a gallon you swear you didn't use. It's maddening, and it makes you wonder, how in the world do they know?
And you are definitely not alone. Here's a real post from someone on the Flyer Talk forums who went through the exact same thing. They got charged, and the explanation they got pointed to some kind of new electronic monitor in the car, one that's way, way more accurate than that old-school gauge on the dashboard.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do they know with such pinpoint accuracy? Well, I can tell you it's not a lucky guess, and it's certainly not magic. It's a really sophisticated piece of tech that's quietly becoming standard in millions of cars. And trust me, it sees a whole lot more than just your fuel level. All right, to solve this little mystery, we need to pop the hood, so to speak, and take a look at a device that's basically the car's secret hotline to the outside world. It's called a telematic control unit, or TCU for short. The easiest way to think about it is like a small, super secure smartphone that's built right into the car's wiring. Its one and only job is to collect data from the car, beam it up to the rental company's servers, and sometimes to get commands sent back down. So, what's inside this little black box? Well, you've got the basics, like a processor and some memory, just like a tiny computer. It's got GPS, of course, for location, and a cellular modem so it can dock to the internet. But for our mystery, the two most critical parts are that vehicle bus interface, that's how it actually listens to the car, and its own little backup battery, which means it is always on. That vehicle bus interface is the key. It lets the TCU plug directly into the car's central nervous system, which is something called the canvas. This means it's not getting an estimate from the dashboard gauge. Oh no, it's reading the raw, unfiltered digital data straight from the car's brain. The exact mileage, the precise speed, and yep, the fuel level right down to a tiny fraction of a gallon. Okay, so now we know how they do it. But that just leads to the next big question. Why? Why go to all this trouble and expense? Well, as you can probably guess, the answer comes down to money and a market that is absolutely massive. Just get a load of this number. The car rental business in North America and Europe alone pulls in almost $64 billion a year. When you're playing in a league that big, even the tiniest little rounding errors can add up to millions and millions of dollars in lost cash. And if you look at where all that money goes, fuel clocks in at around 15% of a rental company's total costs. Now, it might not be the biggest piece of the pie, but it is one of the hardest to control. Every single drop of gas that goes missing or isn't paid for is a direct hit to their profits. And this is where it gets really interesting. That missing gallon of gas, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real money leaks are happening below the surface. Things like sudden breakdowns, people taking cars into other countries without permission, or even little fender benders that a renter conveniently forgets to mention. So, this is where that little TCU box transforms from just a tracking gadget into a powerful business weapon. It's all about turning that stream of raw data into less time in the repair shop and more money in the bank. And the results? They're actually pretty staggering. By keeping an eye on things like hard braking or speeding, fleets that use this tech have seen their collision rates plummet by as much as 40%. I mean, that's huge. It means fewer repair bills, cheaper insurance, and more cars out on the road making money. So when you put it all together, catching maintenance issues early, preventing accidents, managing fuel, the data shows that telematics can save a company about $137 per car every single month. And that right there brings us back to our phantom fuel charge. Out of all those savings, about $8 a month per car comes directly from making sure every last drop of fuel is accounted for. So that little charge on your bill, it's not a bug. It's a feature of the whole business model. But hey, it's not all about catching you out on a gallon of gas. This tech is also changing the whole experience for the customer. That same TCU that's reporting the fuel can also get a signal to unlock the doors, which enables this whole new world of keyless rentals where your phone is literally your car key. Now, you should know, this isn't just some niche thing for rental fleets anymore. The TCU is fast becoming a standard part in almost every new car, and the sheer amount of data our cars are producing is about to go into overdrive. You know, this tech has actually been around for a while, just evolving in the background. It really started back in the 90s with safety systems like OnStar. Then in the 2010s, it was all about manufacturers collecting data to see how their cars performed. But today, it's a full-on command center, enabling things like over-the-air software updates that can literally change how your car drives while it's parked in your driveway.
and the scale of this is just mind-boggling. By 2025, we're expecting to see over 400 million connected cars on the road worldwide. This is not a future thing, it's happening right now, and it's moving from rental fleets to the car that you and I own.
So, with our cars becoming these data centers on wheels, a huge new question pops up. How can we be sure we can even trust the data? Well, one really interesting idea being explored is using blockchain. Think of it like creating a super secure, unhackable digital logbook for the car itself, proving its mileage is real, its software is legit, and its service history is accurate.
And all of this brings us right back to where we started, with that simple, annoying little fuel charge. Except now, it doesn't seem so simple, does it? It's actually a small piece of a much, much bigger conversation about data, about trust, and about who really owns the digital truth. Look at it from both sides. For you, the renter, it absolutely feels like a money grab. The physical gauge you can see with your own two eyes says it's full. It feels sneaky, and it breaks your trust. But then you flip the script. From the agency's point of view, they're just using hyper-accurate data to recover a real cost, making sure the next person to rent that car doesn't start out a gallon short. So that phantom charge is really more than just an irritation. It's a glimpse into our future, a future where the things we own are constantly creating these invisible streams of incredibly precise data about us. And it leaves us with a really important question we all need to start thinking about. As our cars get smarter and smarter, who gets the final say on the truth? Us, the human in the driver's seat, or the machine?